All right, everyone. Let's talk about Cell Max, the newest, hotly debated event that's come out on Global and JP at the same time. It is definitely a difficult event, and I thought I would share my thoughts on it. Now, I've seen some other people kind of ask the community their general thoughts about what they think about the event. They give their opinions on it. And I gotta say, I definitely think this event is really good, and I don't know if it might be a hot take for against a lot of global players, but uh, in all honesty, like I don't know, did you guys get the event too early? Maybe like we're both sharing the event, and like JP does have Trunks and Vegeta, right? But what I'm really getting at here is like this is end game difficulty. It is supposed to be the hardest event in the game. So you're not supposed to beat it like right away if your box is like just mediocre. You're not supposed to beat it in a week. It's probably going to take you a long time to beat it. But one of the best things is you have an infinite number of tries to do it. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. So you can keep going. Maybe you'll get RNG lucky and beat it, but maybe your box isn't just maybe your box just isn't good enough. You know what that means? You have to summon more. I've seen a few people comment on some of my videos already. No, I'm just gonna wait for LR Vegeta and Trunks. Or I'm just gonna wait for the worldwide download celebration units. That is probably the smart move. Like I'm not saying don't attempt it. Like you should definitely attempt the stage just to see what it's like. But walking into it thinking, oh, I'm just gonna beat it. No, like when you play a different game and you go into a brand new raid that comes out, like okay, I played a lot of Destiny when King's Fall came out or whatever, right? Not everyone just hops into the new raid and beats the raid, right? It takes it takes it takes a set amount of skills, which in Dokkan is going to translate to it takes a certain amount certain units that everyone already thinks are really good, and everyone's going to play the event again and again and again until someone wins. Hey, I use this team to beat the event. Okay, well, I use this team to beat the event, and then slowly people start using different units and they can beat the event. Now there's definitely like a core list of units that are just going to do well in the event. That's because they're better than every other unit. That should be common sense. This whole game is power creep. Every year it should be power crept. That's the whole point of this game. Bigger, better. Otherwise, why would you summon? You want your new units to be better than the old units. And of course, the new units are going to do better in the new content. That's just how it is. So, I mean, that's just how it is. But with this event, here, I just remembered something about it. This event is very unique in the form of, here, let's just go over it real quick. The first two stages are relatively easy. It's the final stage, stage 3, that's giving everyone problems, right? It's Tech Cell Max. You can only bring a Senzu Bean. He can lock you in place. He can double super you. It's hard. Like, it's just hard. It really is. Even for whales. Like, that's just how it took me like 20 tries to beat the damn thing. It took like, I think it took like 2 hours for me to beat it. And I've got a pretty decent box. And I did it the hard way too, right? I didn't know about Hercule at the time when I beat it, right? I didn't know about PyCon at the time when I first beat it. I mean, I use my JP account, and that's fine. And global players definitely have it harder, but remember, global is like 6 months behind JP. Sometimes, though, right? Like Red Zone, global had Ginyu Force, they had Majin Vegeta, STR Goku and Gohan, right? And you guys blew through these events. Well, now Cell Max is here. You're lacking the Trunks and Vegeta. I mean, you got to kind of remember JP and Global are not the same game. They're two different games, right? They're developed by two different developers. I mean, they do talk, and what happens on JP generally happens on global, but not all the time, right? So getting back to units, like the more people that play it, the more units people are going to discover are suddenly good in the event. Like once the LRs came out, the 7-year LRs, it's like, okay, no, everything else is like a joke to these guys. UI Goku, no. Red Zone comes out, UI Goku, no. he's kind of fodder, right? Like you can't use him against Android 13. You can't use him against Broly. You can use him definitely in a lot of other areas, but it's like if he gets hit, like you're cooked. I mean, same thing in Cell Max. If he gets touched in that last phase, you're just dead. But he's still one of the top units to bring. You know who else was resurrected from the dead? Evolution Blue Vegeta. Who runs that unit anymore? Like, actually, no one does. It's it's kind of mind-boggling how all of a sudden Evolution Blue Vegeta is like, hey, he's like one of the best units to bring into the hardest content in the game. Right? So it's not like I've seen a lot of this, oh, only the new units are going to do good in the game. And I'm not trying to flame anyone specifically, but you're absolutely wrong. Hercule's all of a sudden really good. Evolution Blue Vegeta's really good. UI Goku, in UI Goku is all of a sudden really good. How old is in UI Goku now? Like, hold on, let's take a look. In UI Goku. How old is this unit? He got his EZA in February of 2021 on JP, right? So he's his EZA is like a year old on global. But this unit came out in like 2018. And with an EZA, okay. But now all of a sudden, like, he's good, right? But only in this one specific event. It's because he's tech. And here's the other thing. There's going to be more than one stage to the Cell Max event, right? Because it's listed as number 1. There's going to be more. What if he's not tech in stage 2? Well, guess what? There's going to be a new batch of units that are all of a sudden good against him. Like, what if he's STR and, oh my god, I can use LR, KL, and Khalifa and I can stack against him. They're a pretty old unit. Like, that's... I don't know. Some of these takes, I'm like, no, you can use a lot of units. And I will agree, like, some of the units are staples to take into him. You know why? That's because as a community, we have found the best ways to take on the event. So when someone says, hey, this unit's really good, you should use them. Well, hey, everyone's going to discover the unit's really good. They're going to use them to beat the event if they've been struggling before. I've beaten the event with my JP team. I didn't know item it the first time I beat it. I am able to know item it now because I've seen what other people have suggested as units to bring, right? On global, I beat it with a team I don't think anyone's beaten it with. Look, I brought tech, full power, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I bought physical SS2 Vegeta. Goku, sorry. I mean, these other units, yeah, you should bring those because at the time, like, we knew they were good. So I brought them. I didn't know who else to bring, so I brought these two because SS2 Goku is good for me, and I wanted a good linking partner for the SS4s at the time. Did Tech SS4 Goku get hit hard? Yeah, he got, after Super Attack, he got hit for 224k normals. I still beat the event though, right? Like, yeah, I used items. No iteming it on global is very hard. But my point is, people are going to beat it with all sorts of different units. Your teams might be restricted right now because we're changing into a 200% meta, right? Like, why would... Again, it's the hardest content in the game. You should bring the best units for it. That makes sense. bring your best 200% team, right? I I saw a video not too long ago. Dokkan World beat it with Devilman. Like, he one-shot Cell with Devilman. It's like, okay, if you're struggling with the event, guess what? Devilman is a viable strategy. You can bring Devilman into the event. Yeah, that's really how it is. So, we're not so much. Yeah, I was watching the Goresh video when I actually got this. No flame to Goresh. He's an awesome content creator. He had some thoughts I just did not agree with, and I saw Truth's video, and Truth and I actually think the same way for the Cell Max event. I think it's an amazing event. Maybe it came too soon to global. Remember, like, Toei kind of screwed everything up with the times. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes or anything. That's just kind of how it is. But I thought we'd just, I don't know, we can go over some of the, I've kind of spoken my mind already. But whatever. You guys may have seen some of these already. Like Goresh here says, regardless of your opinion on the red zone in this new Cell Max event, I think it's pretty apparent that this is the path that Dokkan wants to go down. I agree. But I think that's fine. Hard content should be hard. When a game focuses on getting you to spend money, get stones, summon new units, right? That is the core of the game. It's a card collecting game. You want the best cards to win the hardest events with. You don't go to a Magic tournament with like your... Well, I mean, there's probably a couple people that actually do, but you don't go to a Magic tournament with like some B-tier kitchen sink deck you made and you just get floored by every meta deck there is there. No, that's just not how it works. You will get stomped. Of course you will. And Cell Max is hard. He will body a lot of units, but there are some units that can take him, and like we as a community have been finding out what they are. So they only want the newest and best units to be able to compete in the hardest content. I mean, that's like half true, right? PyCon is kind of old here. Everyone else, I would say, is fairly new. Like, Goku got the easy A. This Goku is... Oh, this Goku is like 8 months old now, actually. So I'd say he's starting to age a bit. Remember, he was the last of like the 170 leads, but before the 200% came out. So I wouldn't say he's that old. But like Evolution Blue Vegeta, the year 6 LR. That's a year and 7 months old, right? You use him. Hercule. How old is Hercule? Hold on. Let's 2018. 2019. This unit's like 3 years old. 4? This is the beginning of 2019. Like, how old is he? Come on. I would actually say this is a relatively new concept for Dokkan. Is it relatively new? I mean, yeah, they really started upping the difficulty in like Extreme Super Battle Road, so I can kind of see it. But, I mean, at the same time, was the game too easy? Like, I think you should be able to have variety going into an event. But look at how old some of these events are now. Like, okay, Red Zone just came out on Global, but relatively, you guys have all these teams that you can bring into it to beat Red Zone, right? The Cell Max, like, more units are going to come out later down the line that are going to be able to beat the event, right? I was able to be completed with a large variety of units. I expected this trend to continue as we get additional difficult challenges, so just get ready. Let's see, what does Matt say here? I think it's a bit of a Slinky Effect. Right now we're in a period of change. However, I think it will take time for new units to come out to set a new baseline. Remember, JP has had Red Zone for like 6 months now and have dropped 2 very good int units in the meantime. Yeah, we got the ROF Gods and Trunks and Vegeta. Both very good units for this event. Because they're intellect, right? And I really like the ROF Gods. And I think this Trunks and Vegeta kind of, this event solidifies them as like the best unit in the game, pretty much. So far, anyway. We on Global just got Red Zone added, and then we get tossed this almost right afterwards. I can see why it feels like we got bombarded. Yeah, Global did, right? Let's wait and see how good the Worldwide Download Celebration units are. If they're on par with Vegeta and Trunks, I think we're fine. Yeah, like, how... those banners are dropping in like 6 days, right? If the odds are these are going to be the best units in the game. They're going to be cracked. So how long has this event been out? Like under a week? Hold your horses, guys. Like, you're probably going to be able to beat the event. Let's skip to a random one. A complete ass direction taken. Plenty of mechanics available for boss fights to make them harder without only touching numbers and make them go up again and again. There's still a margin for now, so there's still hope. Yeah, kind of. There are other mechanics in the game, so like you think about lowering attack, lowering defense, stun, seal, that sort of stuff. Okay, you can't use it against Cell Max, right? That's how they make him hard. But you need to do more than just that to make him hard. You can do this stuff in Extreme Super Battle Road, which is really good because they hit just as hard as like Red Zone. And you get to bring items into there. So I think the new Extreme Super Battle Road stages, I think they're super difficult, which is good. But I think that they're fairly, I wouldn't say they're balanced. I mean, you can do more. Like, it's easier than Cell Max, right? They're fun. I think Cell Max is fun because he's way harder than anything else in the game. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. Here's another thing. Items. Items are the most powerful things in Dokkan. How do we all beat Red Zone Broly? We double Whis the STR AoE phase. Are units going to come out that can like tank this? Yeah. There's already units that can tank it. Not a lot, I'll give you that. But more are going to come out. Remember, this just dropped on Global, so take it how you will. Yeah, I mean, true, but then when they do that, that also ends up making the old units completely useless, which is terrible because not every player is guaranteed to get the new units. No, but that's the nature of the game. This whole game, this is not a skill-based game. There is no mechanical skill involved in this game. The only skill involved in this game is knowing what your units do. Does my unit have good effects or bad effects? Do I have STR Kefla? Do I use STR Kefla against Cell Max? Or do I use Int Majin Vegeta? Well, clearly, you're going to use Int Majin Vegeta, right? You can take STR Kefla in there, but she's going to greatly lower your chances of winning the event. And that is skill in Dokkan, knowing what is going to do well in events, what's going to link well, knowing when you get your defense on super attack, what's a slot 1 unit, stuff like that, right? Are units able to super attack well? Skill is knowing the value of your cards and how to properly assort them into a team. No mechanical skill involved at all. This is literally how gacha games work. They want to make people spend to get the new toy. Exactly. If everything wasn't getting harder, this game would be dead. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a gacha game. You're supposed to spend money, get the new cards, make the new team. Make the best team you can. If you are free to play, you're making the game harder on yourself. That's how it is. I mean, I respect free to play players, but it's going to be harder. And you have to realize that. We'll check out one more, and then we'll look at truths, because I like Truth's take on it. I really agree. If they keep this up, they will need to release better free-to-play units. I do agree with that. I do think they should release really good free-to-play units that like are good and can start competing in events. Not the hardest content though, right? Oops. Stupid emails coming in. Okay. It's like, okay, going back to the Destiny analogy. You're only going to get the best new equipment if your skill is good in the game. Translate that to DOKKAN. You're only going to beat the new event if you put the money in to get the new cards, right? They do have to try and buff free-to-play units, like I do think in older events, though. So not really Red Zone right now. It just came out, remember. Maybe Legic, unless you're Mr. Baby and you lose 3 times in a row. And not like the units we have been getting since the 7th year any. Yeah, I do agree. They have to like up their game on free-to-play units. If they don't, then I might have issues. For now, the event has been out for a few days, so I would hope they're going to release some good units. They very well could. I think we have to wait for the worldwide download celebration, see what comes out, right? Again, I feel like they dropped this for both celebrations because Toei screwed up, and now they have to try and capitalize on the hype of Dragon Ball Super coming out on Global for when the event comes out, sometime after the worldwide download celebration, right? They have to get people hyped for it. Releasing it for both versions, I don't know if that was the right play. Maybe it should have been JP first, but it is what it is, right? I don't think they want free units being competitive in these difficult events outside of a few rare exceptions. Yeah, I agree with that because, I mean, you wouldn't summon if your free-to-play cards were too good, right? I actually think the Cell event shows a lot of older units can still be good if you use them right. Cards you don't think of as the best, like Int Broly. Yeah, Int Broly! I never used Int Broly! PyCon in Hercule Tech Androids. Yeah, I did beat it with Tech Androids later, and Int Broly in my no-item run. I didn't even think about the androids until I found out about using PyCon as a good option, right? I never would have thought about using PyCon because, well, if he gets touched, he's dead. But, like, he's got the dodge, the Ghost Usher. You want to beat that cell in, like, within 3 turns if possible. So, like, this is absolutely right here. Bro needed the Sullivan to understand that in Broly and the tech androids are good. Okay. Let's look at Truths right here. So yeah, he did the same thing. He kind of asked the community. He did a video about it. You should go check it out. Link to Truth's channel down below. I'm sure you all know who Truth is, though. I'll link Goresh as well, just so you guys can see how they talk about the Cell Max event. The Cell Max event is the greatest event DOKKAN has brought us. Yeah, I agree. It's raw as F, showing us how to actually team build and use real strategy over Ooga Booga stacking turtle or Ooga Booga double weast for damage units. Yeah, Cooler and Goku are going to destroy this event, but it's fun. They might not destroy the later stages. We'll have to see. I kind of hope they don't, right? I absolutely agree with everything here. As I was saying before, like, you find out units that you normally would never think about. In Hercule? Come on. Oh boy, what Kawhi put? This event is a demonstration of how some people try to make themselves feel like great strategists when they have lined up 6 of the 20 or so characters that don't get destroyed automatically and have waited for the game where their luck has been insolent. But don't worry, the strategists in question tell us that nobody understands anything and that this is actually the manifestation of a real evolution of a healthy difficulty in a game. Particularly creative difficulty that takes into account all the mechanics of the game. if I'm understanding it right, doesn't agree with it. 6 of the 20 or so characters I don't. Yeah, well, no, nah, I don't think so. This has happened several times now where I come so close and fall short. I don't think it's necessarily a bad event, but but as a non-whale, I'm just going to wait and see if Cooler and Goku are busted enough. That's the right approach. They say I'm a non-whale. How do you expect to beat the most difficult event in the game if you don't have the cards for it or the dupes for it? Like, a part of it is RNG as well, right? Like, I've done the event hundreds of times and I've lost way more than I've won. Okay, I hate that he is tech. I hate that you have to spend money to win an event that gives you 5 stones. Okay. The rewards, yeah, maybe they should be a bit better. I'll stipulate to that for sure. I hate that you have to spend money to win an event that gives you 5 stones. Yeah, if I'm looking at that literally, yes. If we take out the 5 stones part and just read it as, I hate that you have to spend money to win an event, it's a gacha game. I hate that the hardest boss is Cell Max out of all characters. I hate that Int Majin Vegeta is getting overrated now. Overrated? I would not say Majin Vegeta is overrated at all. Maybe on global, but not JP. Not with that Trunks and Vegeta unit. He is so much better now because of that unit. Even if you don't have a Trunks on your team, he can still do well. He will get hurt a lot, though, right? I saw a Ningen beat it with a Majin Vegeta team, and he brought AGL SS3 Trunks. He had to rely on chances to guard. Like, who would have thought to bring AGL Trunks? Another example, right? In all honesty, you don't have to spend money. I guess so. You just need to be willing to accept that you can't beat a day one. Yeah. For real, like you said, it's only 5 stones, so I'd try to just not worry about it. I enjoy using cards I haven't used in a while there. And Super Saiyan Blue Evolution saved one of my wins. That's awesome. Totally agree. Okay, cool. That doesn't change the fact that there are 48 million Kangaroo... I'm just going to pass on that one. It's way harder than any red zone stage, but it's comically hard, honestly, so I haven't been getting mad at it. Like, I would especially since there's no 3 day... Yes, there's no 3 times a limit. That is one of the big things about this event that make it a lot more tolerable. What is even going on here? Oh, it's Nano getting supered. Yeah, that will happen. Same thing happened to me. Same thing happened to everyone, right? My Int SS4 Gogeta with 190k defense due to his active skill got hit for 800k with a super from Cell Max. Shit, it's actually not possible unless you have the best RNG in the world or some shit. I mean, you don't need the best RNG in the world. Like, Gogeta lost, he didn't win the coin flip to counter the super attack, right? And 190k defense, that's not good enough defense. This person doesn't say if they super attacked first or not, but if they supered first, they would have greatly raised it. And this, honestly, they probably still would have died. They still probably would have taken like 600, but you don't want Gogeta to take a super attack. That is like the last option you want, right? Forgot to say, Tech Gogeta just double supered and still took 134k on normals. Yep. Yeah, he will. I think Gogeta's kind of overrated. Like, the Scouter is the only good thing right now. 130k is actually good. I mean, Namek Goku with like 7 stacks is taking 80k, and UI Ink Goku Transform with a few stacks, 140. Yep. I feel like as hard as the green bug hits, it's more so his lock that makes him tough. Or else I would have had him completed day 1 instead of the countless runs that he locked Pycon slot 1 and bombarded him with 10 attacks. Use the Senzu Bean? Yes, why? Oh, he's almost dead. Okay, you probably ran out of Senzu Beans. Look at this team. Look at how stacked that team is. And you're so close to your Dokkan attack, too. Hey, like, if you had a Senzu Bean, like, get Pycon out of there. Sometimes you just get unlucky with that, right? He has a chance to lock you, and it sucks. GG, go next. That's all you can do. Did you live? Nah, these are good. Okay. Yeah, Broly just wins this event. Okay, so that was kind of my thoughts on the event. Yeah, I hope you guys don't flame me too hard in the comments or anything. It's I'm not trying to put anyone down for the event, but I don't agree with a lot of people saying that it's like it shouldn't be this hard. Well, tough. Tough. Get used to it. Like that's the way it is. They made the event. It exists. It's hard. There's going to be other stages. There's going to be, think about this. Int Hercule and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and Int UI Goku, they're probably not going to be usable in the next stage. Right? They're probably going to get their asses whooped next stage. Can you imagine? Oh, he's physical now. Like, okay, the community's just going to find new ways to beat that event. And whether or not you have the cards depends on whether or not you've been summoning. And whether or not you've been summoning depends if you're free to play or you put money in the game. But remember, the goal of the developers is to make a fun game, but to take your money first, right? So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about Cell Max. Go ahead, put what you think in the comments. I'll try to read everyone and respond to everyone. It's been going good lately. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Later.